I just shot dice by myself to keep busy. I did 750 push-ups every other day and would just do that and just roll dice and try to read books. And yeah, so yeah, I ended up just working on me when I got there, and that paid off not only in the aspect of being able to make it to my grandfather's funeral, but also because when I went back and I was able to get time taken back by the circuit court, that is not done. It's just not done. I mean, it was unheard of. They haven't done it in the county I'm at since the 80s. So when it happened for me, I was like, whoa. I mean, I had character witnesses would come in. They're like, this kid ain't what he was. It's not, he's completely different. These things are, he's changed, and you hear that all the time, but having good character witnesses like that who know you, good people on your side that have your back. And yeah, it was helpful. I was able to file my own paperwork, get some stuff in, and post conviction relief. I filed that when I was working up in the library slash law library. And yeah, it was a tough, scary road to do that, but it was my one shot. It was literally my only chance to get out, and it worked. And so I'm here now. They dropped my sentence down to 12 years, and I was just like, it literally turned around from 21 to 12. And I was like, this is good. So I went back to the maximum security prison I was at. They moved me out of the library because now I'm on minimum security at this point, immediately classified, put me out on the road crew. I did that for a little bit, and they moved me back closer to home. I was at a minimum camp, which I hated. They made to pre-release and then eventually work release. And it's just like, you get it how you live. If you live right, it's not always going to benefit you, but if you do, it'll benefit yourself, and it might benefit you as well in the externals. And you got the flip stance too. There's people who just do whatever they want and they have a successful life, but how are they inside?
It's a long game. You have to play the long game. So when you're
Yes,
doing
sir.
the right thing and you're being honest, you tell the truth. Um, there's perks like people being character witnesses when you need them the most that you're not going to get from those guys that are just doing whatever they want.
No, because
Did you?
people,
Yeah.
people can smell authenticity.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. That is. I think that's something that's so scarce nowadays that people want it so bad. They yearn for just the honest truth, man.
I agree more than you know. It's just people are craving for it, and there's not enough of it out there. So when it comes around, people cling to it. And it's just like, man, we need to get more people who are legit, authentic, true to themselves, and actually like living what they say they're living, and not putting up that facade, or that whatever it is that they're trying to put out there. It's like that hood rich stuff. Quarter tank of gas in my new E class. It's like, come on, man. It's like, do you want to pretend to be rich and be poor, or do you want to pretend to be poor and actually be rich? And I'm not speaking monetarily, but in your humility and then like your circumstances. I believe that is definitely linked together.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. And we have an opportunity to be thankful for what we have when who knows what the future holds. No one knows what tomorrow brings and how it's going to play out. And you got to take advantage of what you got. And you sound like you have a second chance, and you're taking full advantage of it, Greg. And I appreciate that. Just seeing that reality manifest in a person, man.
I'm doing my best, and every day is a struggle. We all got ups and downs, but I'm better today than I was yesterday and day before, etc. And sometimes it's two steps forward, one step back, but sometimes you got a good week where it's five steps forward, and it's like, all right, okay. And then you got to cling to it and remember what got you there, and not just float on that feeling of like, oh, I just keep doing. Got to keep grounded and keep focused. And like you said, man, being thankful is so important because you never know. I mean, I've been eating ramen noodles for years, and now I'm making pasta at the house and doing my own thing. And I prefer that.
Oh yeah, much rather steak than a grilled cheese sandwich. That's for sure.
Yeah, buddy.
So What's another cool trick you learned in prison, man? What are some of the things that people would not be inclined to know?
Well, I like to shoot dice before I went away. I used to shoot CeeLo with some friends, and we play $1 a roll. And so when I got there, there's no dice. I ended up, I was everything that I talk about, I had to learn from someone else. It's not like I just went in and learned these things or just came up with them. You know, you get around the older guys or the people with experience, and they'll usually hip you to something different. So I was like, man, I'm trying to get a set of dice. And they're like, man, they ain't got no dice in here. You know that. Like, even if you had a board game, they take the dice out because they knew what it was. And so, how would I do it? And so, you got to make it out of soap. And I was like, okay. So, just carve the soap up. And they're like, nah, nah, nah. And then you want to wrap toilet paper around it and you use sugar water to solidify it so it gets rock solid. So then you can roll those things off the wall or whatever and keep playing. So I ended up doing 120 days on lockup in the county jail for second fight, and made some dice in there. And I just shot dice by myself to keep busy. I did 750 push-ups every other day and would just do that and just roll dice and try to read books and try to knock.
How many push-ups? Say that again.
Every other day I was doing 750 when I was in on the hammer, but
Is that a
yeah.
normal? Is that a normal prison amount? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never done 700 in a day in my life.
I didn't before that, but I mean it got to be more later on. I was doing 100 in a set. I would do 300 push-ups before I go out to big yard, and we do like 26 sets of bench that day, like chest. So you really had to get it in, man, and we did. So you got to put that work in, and I'm not as nearly as jacked up as I was back then, but I'm about 15 pounds lighter than my heaviest in there. But I'm healthy, you know what I mean? I got that lean muscle. So yeah, that's 750. Knew a guy who would do 1,000 every day, but he was a lot shorter too. So he had them short arms and a big fat triceps on him, and I'm a lean guy, so it was 750 was a stretch for me.
Man, shit, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, you got a lot of time to kill. So reading books,
Yeah, man.
do a couple hundred push-ups, read a couple more books.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Yep,
I'm
got to
sorry.
find ways to keep yourself busy.
Yeah, man.